This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's popping? It's your boy, ladies and gentlemen. My man Tony Crew in the building. And we got a short discussion to talk to you about right now. And it's basically, is the Knicks roster versatile? Is it versatile enough to play the style of basketball that many people think Mike Brown wants to play? That up-tempo speed attack. I mean, we got Jalen Brunson, we got Karl Anthony Towns. Neither one of those guys, in my opinion, are speed attack up-tempo guys. You know what I mean? So yeah, we got about 30 minutes to jump into this discussion and whatever else is going to go down. So Tony, talk to me, man. What do you think?
Well, I definitely shout out to the chat, Your Blackest Time. I definitely agree with your assessment about our 2 stars.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say is, I think Mikal, I think he's a downhill guy. You know what I mean? I think he's a fast guy, especially like I always said he kind of remind me of like the throwbacks, Kerry Kittles or Richard Jefferson type style and speed attack. You know what I mean? So that could be a benefit for him. Josh Hart is probably the best guy suited as far as creating fast break opportunities when they're not really there. So I'll put him in that category. And I think OG at his size could take advantage of that. So maybe maximizing those guys helps out our other 2 guys who, number one, the stars, that's when you slow it down anyway, right? That's when you kind of get into the half court. That's when you kind of
that's when you slow it down. But when you got, each guy is going to play about 35 minutes a game. You know what I mean? So for those 35 minutes that you're out there, what's your style of play going to be? You know what I mean? If you can't play, because in my opinion, okay, Cat is not a fast player. He's not, in my opinion, he's not an up and down player. Yeah, he shoots the 3. But I mean, have you ever seen how long it takes Cat to get up the floor?
He's more of a trailing big.
Yeah. It's more, definitely a trailing big that's going to shoot the 3 at the top of the key.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Brunson, Brunson has decent speed. He has what do you want to call it? Deceptive speed, I think.
And change of direction, change of pace.
Change of pace. I think he's a heady player, he's a smart player. So, he may be a guy that can get into that, passing the ball up the floor type of game. You know what I mean? Because I think that's the way that the Knicks, if they're going to play a speed ball attack, they're going to have to pass the ball up the floor. It's not going to be one guy dribbling up the floor. You know what I mean? Because I just don't know if we have that kind of speed.
OG, well, that's why I'm looking at the guys that potentially could with OG, Mikal, Josh Hart.
Right. Now, I mean, my thing with OG, I think OG has, I don't know how fast he is in getting up and down the floor. He's athletic, but I don't know how fast he is. Josh Hart is fast. Mikal Bridges is fast. Looking at the guys we picked up, Jordan Clarkson, I think he's a guy that can get up and down the floor. You know what I mean? I guess it's going to depend on how we play, how we position ourselves on that side of the floor. How we position ourselves on the defensive side to get the rebound and then be able to get up the floor and run those lanes. If we're really going to play that type of attacking game, and getting the ball up the floor, we got to be ready to, we can't have. First of all, the spacing has to be better. The spacing on this team, and I don't mean spacing as far as the 3-point shot. I mean spacing as far as being in the right lanes, being in the right position.
Mhm,
It's gotten better over the years. I remember when
mhm.
Tom Thibodeau first got here, Randall and RJ Barrett, their spacing
Bumping
was
it,
terrible.
bumping into each other.
Oh my goodness. It was the worst fast breaking I ever seen in my life.
To one guy could guard both of them,
Yeah,
because of where they were.
yeah. You know what I mean? So it's definitely gotten better since then. Uh, it's still not perfect. You know,
Can I
we
just
we do have the 3-point shooters, I guess. OG can shoot it, McCall can shoot it, Cat can shoot it, Jalen can shoot it, um, Deuce can shoot it. You know what I mean? Yabusele can shoot it. So we do got some guys that can shoot and knock down the three, which helps to, play that up tempo type of a game.
I was gonna say Clarkston will shoot it.
Clarkson will shoot. He will shoot it. And I didn't say his name because he's not like super efficient,
No,
but
I know, but he will though.
he'll shoot it. There's no doubt about that. He'll let that thing go. You know what I mean? He'll definitely let it go. Um, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how versatile this roster really is. I know Mike Brown said it's a versatile roster. I'm going to be honest with you. And I know this is a whole year removed. So I ain't trying to bring up, spilt milk. But the roster was way more versatile, in my opinion, before the Cat trade.
Defensively,
I think offensively too.
I don't know. I think one thing that I feel like I think Cat can dominate the post. I think that was underutilized. I think that if that so- I don't know about his speed or whatever, but just utilizing that aspect of his game, I think that opens up versatility that we didn't tap into.
Yeah.
Um
But see, I think Randall and we can't forget about DiVincenzo, of course. I think
mhm,
Randall at that spot could post up as well as handle the ball, right?
mhm,
So Randall could get the rebound off the glass and go. You only had one guy on the floor that really couldn't do that, and that was Mitch. I mean, the way that Tom Thibodeau played, utilizing Josh Hart, you still kind of had that with Cat, and not that Cat couldn't do it, but he didn't do it.
mhm. Yeah, I think it
Every
was underutilized.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, if there was um, a dire situation, he would bring the ball up, but he doesn't have enough speed to really get the
Ca-
ball up the floor in that amount of time. A
mhm.
little bit clumsy too. Randall was more of a off the ball creator. Cat, in my opinion, is more of a catch the ball at the elbow creator
I
or
I
pass.
agree.
You know what I mean?
I just
Um,
want to add one thing, Sam, because you're talking facts, but I also think Randall was here with Tibbs for some years and
mhm,
kind of got that role before Brunson even got here,
mhm,
where I don't know if like yeah, I agree with you. Cat's not gonna bring the ball up like Randall can and initiate the offense. I don't know if he's ever been tasked with doing that, but where he can do is get it in the post and create the offense from there. Which again, I thought that was a underutilized aspect. That was utilized for Randall because he had to do that from wherever he was on the floor because he was
mhm.
our guy. You know what I mean? Like I just don't think we've seen too many times where we had Cat in the post. You know what I mean? To kind of even show his dominance. I
mean,
mean, you don't think that was underutilized?
Cat in the post.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Was it Cat or was it?
I'm not blaming either one.
You know
I
what I'm
like.
saying?
I,
I think that I mean, when we played Boston, they definitely utilized Cat in the post when we played Boston, and even some when we played Indiana. I mean, I definitely would say it could have been utilized more for sure. Um, but also Cat, can go there and do it. You know what I'm saying? He can go there and say, "Hey, give me the ball." I got a small guy on me. Give me the ball, whatever it is. But I mean, I think I'm speaking just more in terms of not really just utilizing that post, but more in terms of having more players on the team that can do several things. You know what I'm saying? And with the addition of Bridges, I felt like it was just going to it was going to open it up more because Randall could get the ball and go off the glass. Bridges could get the ball and go off the glass. DiVincenzo could get the ball and go off the glass. Of course, Josh Hart, um, um, Jalen Brunson. You know what I mean? Like these were all guys. Bridges. In the playoffs was shaky with it, but these were guys that could really be creative off the dribble, off the break. That I thought gave the team more versatility. You know what I mean? And the way that you could plug and play players. Uh, I thought it gave us more versatility offensively and defensively.
I mean,
Than I
one
look
thing
at.
Cat can do though is initiate it from that outlet pass and get the rebound and throw it ahead. So I just think unfortunately I don't think we just maximize, and I didn't think we would in 1 year anyway.
Mhm.
Maximize the roster. You know what I mean? Maximize the full talents of this team. I didn't think it was gonna happen in 1 year. I said that from the beginning. Like, you know what I mean? He and this is not a knock, but he's gonna ride with what is familiar and what has gotten him the success that got him this success as long as it did. Um, the one thing about Brown coming in is it is a clean slate, so he has no formula to go by. You know what I mean? Like, he could literally try. You know what I mean? Try anything. Like, I don't know what his like true philosophy is. All we know is like you said, he wants to push the pace.
Mhm.
Um, I he has a couple of guys that fit that model. I agree with you though. Our two main guys, and more so Captain Brunson, because I think Brunson has played that way, and like that's almost like bringing it back to Villanova for him in a sense. I think they pushed the pace. Then it's really, does Cat fit into it? If Mitch is starting, that probably doesn't really,
Yeah.
I mean, fit into it either.
There was a question on the last show. Somebody was asking, you know, do I think we're gonna need roster changes to fit Mike Brown's style of play? And I said that last night. I definitely think there's gonna be roster changes, not this year, but in the future. I think Mike Brown's gonna,
Identify what he needs or what he
identify what
wants.
he needs, what he wants with his basketball team, and then make changes accordingly, or at least partner with the front office to make changes accordingly. I don't think this roster I, is as versatile. We'll see with Jordan Clarkson and Uselli. I don't know if it's I look at Indiana like that's a mad versatile roster, right? I don't see this roster being like that. You know what I mean? So you know,
But you do think it's a championship roster, or don't you?
I
I
mean,
got you. I got you at a spot.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Based on the East right now,
I don't like that narrative.
it's definitely an Eastern Conference Finals roster. Maybe an NBA Finals roster. Championship roster means you're better than OKC. You
I'm
know what I
talking
mean?
about getting to the championship. I thought we could have done it last year. I thought that we were capable last year. I thought the roster was equipped last year. I don't. I mean, there's always holes in the roster and gaps
Yeah.
and things you could do
Before
to
the
make.
playoffs, I didn't think it was a championship roster. When we got into the playoffs, I was like, okay, they might surprise me. Maybe we are a championship roster. And then, we lost to Indiana. If things bounced differently, we could have beat Indiana. So it's hard to say.
Mm,
I mean, the front office, I'm gonna say, thinks it's a championship roster.
damn, I hate to even do this because I feel like I'm blindsiding you. But do you think Tibbs got outcoached in that series?
Yes, I do. I think he got outcoached, but I think there's specific reasons why. And one of the biggest reasons why is because Rick Carlisle, like you just said about
More
Randall,
familiar.
right? Tibbs was with Randall for a while, so he's going to know how to use him better. This was a brand new roster. You know what I mean? Like I said to someone before on Twitter, 5 of the 9 players used in the Eastern Conference Finals were new to this basketball team this year. You know what I mean? And just like I'm giving Mike Brown grace, you got to give Mike Brown grace because he's got to learn the roster. You know what I'm saying? Tom Thibodeau had to learn that roster last year. So, I think it's quite natural that he would be outcoached. You know what I mean? Rick Carlisle is a great coach. You know what I'm saying? And he had that group together for a while. You know what I mean? Let's see what Indiana fans say this year with Miles Turner gone and Tyrese Halliburton gone. To see how all of those adjustments and the utilization of this guy and that guy work. Let's see. That really tells you how good of a coach he is.
I was just gonna say, and how good of a coach he is.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say. My bad. I got Queen. Shout out to the Queen. I got her syndrome, her condition.
But that's really going to tell you how good of a coach. And I'm not saying he's not a good coach, but that really lets you know when you lose players like that, and then you still find a way to be top 4 in the Eastern Conference. He's coaching like crazy. Let me get to a phone call.
Let me ask you one question, and the caller can answer as well. What you saying you're giving grace? What is your expectation for Mike Brown and this team? And that's including the context of it's all new.
Year one,
year one.
Eastern Conference Finals.
So that's your grace as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, that's where they were last year. You know what I'm saying? So if anything, the team knows how to draw back on that experience. The team
and how much
Brown's been there. He's been to the championship, a bunch of times. You know what I mean? So my expectation is at least Eastern Conference Finals. But during his tenure, we got to get to the finals and hopefully win it. You know what I mean? But I'm giving him that grace. I'm giving him grace. You know what I mean? Because he's got to learn. He's got to learn the team. You know what I mean? He's got to learn it. But I got my man Jay Boogie on the line. Jay Boogie, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
I'm trying to get everybody to eliminate that word finals. Stop using that word finals. I don't want to hear the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't want to hear get to the finals. The word is one word, and it's 2 of them, but they made it to be one word. It's championship. Before this man's contract ends, he's going to bring us a championship. I want everybody to stay focused and be with that. Stay in that mode. Stop, you know what I'm saying, belowing ourselves only to get to the Eastern Conference Final. That's why we lost. That's what we won it last year. I want to get to the Eastern Conference Final. That's all we wanted to do. We need a championship. And right now, we got a guy that's in a championship mode that wants to bring a championship to his resume and to this organization, to the city, and to the fan base more than anything. Hold up. Let me slow down for a minute. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the chat. Hope everybody's in the greatest form of health. Please be in the greatest form of health. Anybody going through anything, we don't pray that you go through it. We pray that you get through it. Make sure you hit that like button and make sure if you Make sure you get subscribed. And if you know what I'm saying, not seeing this show, go back and watch the replay. But share this show and this content. Move it along to any other platform. Now let's get back to the regularly scheduled program. What we got, you know what I'm saying? It ain't Larry. It ain't Hubie. We got the third Brown in the building. You want versatility? I'm going to show you the versatility we can get because we got a lot of players on this team that can do a lot of things. They can score from a lot of different ways. You know what I'm saying? That's good for them guys. But how long has it been, or if we ever had a coach that had versatility that they can bring different things to the table? What I mean by that, you know what I'm saying? You heard him talking. You want to got been in San Antonio. You want to play from the inside out. I understand that game. So I got 2 bigs over here, and I got a couple of other bigs. I got about 4 bigs over here in New York right now on this roster right now. Okay, you want to play isolation and all that? I got a way to go isolation. Don't forget, I was in Cleveland. I was over there with Braun. We was playing isolation ball. Oh, you want to do passing, moving, and cutting and all that? Don't forget, I was over in Golden State. I got different forms of format to bring to the table for these guys to learn how to ball. And more importantly, I know how to have a conversation with you. The office door swings both ways. Let's communicate. Let's talk about it. You got something on your mind? Bring it to the table, and I can bring it to the coach, to the coaches, and then we can bring it to the practices, and then we can all be on the same page. Don't hold any ideas, don't hold any thoughts, because I'm not going to hold them, because I want the door to swing both ways. Let's talk to one another. Let's communicate with one another. This is how we're going to grow together. This is how we're going to win a championship together. Your thoughts, your ideas, my thoughts, my ideas. I'm sharing them with you. You sharing them with me. That's how we're going to get better. You can score this way. You can score that way. How about I can help you, and can you do it this way, and can you do it that way? Can you come from this angle? Can you do it from that angle? We need to just lay all cards on the table. And he don't have conversations with Kevin Durant. He don't have the conversation with LeBron. He don't have the conversation with the Steph Curry. He don't have the conversation with the Kobe Bryants, you know what I'm saying? And guess what? He don't got the answers from Tim Duncan. He don't got the answers from all these guys. I don't got the answers from Steve Kerr. Not the answers from Popovich. I know what it is to have a conversation. I've been student in this game, and I've been learning from this game from a lot of people, and I'm here to bring it to the format of New York City. And this is what the guys need to take heed to and appreciate. This guy has choices over there on the side, on that bench for these guys. Don't be afraid because you got so many years in the league that you can't ask questions. Don't be afraid because your game might not reach a certain part, and you don't want to talk to this man so he can help you reach to that part. Everything is together. It's one team together. Everybody always matters. This is family, a family affair, a championship affair. Shout out to Leon Rose. You did it again. You had another amazing on season. I continue calling it the on season because it's harder and harder to make decisions and move all this money and these billions and billions of dollars, you know what I'm saying, to make it work than it is for you just to play basketball. You play basketball, you can only do a few things. You can make a basket or you can miss a basket. You can get paid or you cannot get paid. But when them guys is over there in them office, leave them people alone and stop wondering, trying to figure out what the hell they doing. They trying to make it work for the city. They trying to make it work for the organization. They trying to bring something here that we ain't had in a long time. I appreciate Mike Green being here. I can feel his hunger. I can feel, you know what I'm saying? He ain't never had a team like this. This is his opportunity, his chance. And the same way, it's the Knicks players. This is their opportunity, their chance. And everybody seems like they want to be a part of it, man. God bless everybody. Everybody stay healthy and safe, man. I just want to come up here and rant for a minute. Shout out to my man, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Sim, a.k.a. the Superfly, the young Ron on there. Shout out to my man, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Tony. Cut him again, stick him again, the young Richard Pride, man. Everybody stay safe. Salute, 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 3 capital S's.
Jay Boogie, you got my asthma pump. I think I need it. Yo, you took my breath away on that one, bro.
Oh man, how you follow that?
No doubt. Jay Boogie, my man. I need my asthma pump though. I don't know where he got that energy from, man. Brother got mad energy. I love it though.
I can't wait to watch this back, man.
And I love it though. Let me see who we got. We got Mr. Benjamin on the line. Mr. Benjamin, what's poppin' with you, brother? How you feeling?
Oh, what's going on? I didn't even know I was online. How y'all doing?
It's all good, baby. I'm good. How you feeling?
JB.
Good. Tony Crow, how you doing, brother?
Appreciate you always, man. Salute.
Could you turn that down in the back?
I talked to you guys in a... Go ahead. I'm sorry. Say that again.
Yeah. Could you turn that down in the back? We can hear the echo a little bit.
Yeah, I got you. My bad.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now or no?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. I just had to hop on, man. Appreciate y'all taking my call. It's been a while since I talked to the both of you outside of the super chats, but yeah, thanks for taking my call. Yeah, man. To me, the front office, from a 30,000, foot view. To me, I think the front office did a tremendous job in terms of the coach acquisition with Mike Brown and the free agent acquisition and the draft, in my opinion. I never really lost doubt or lost faith in the front office. Now, all these things have to play out on the court, of course, but I mean, at this point, they haven't really, to me, made any egregious mistakes. One could argue the Fournier signing, the Kemba signing, but outside of those two, really, to me, they're thorough. They don't really make a lot of panic moves. They're very patient. So to me, the Brown thing, what was available, to me, he has the most credentialed resume.
Mm-hmm.
And what I wanted to say to you two is, and maybe you guys would disagree. All right, so Tibbs, we've talked, I don't want to make this a Tibbs versus Brown thing. That's not what I want to do. But I think, okay, how do I say it? It's almost impossible, in my opinion, right? Tibbs has been a lifelong coach for many, many years, going back to the Van Gundy days.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much to say about him. Like I said a few weeks ago, he brought us back to relevance, along with Brunson and Randall and Barrett, and those four kind of really started this window, in my opinion. So to me, it's almost hard to make a slam dunk hire that is a clear upgrade over Tibbs, right? Now,
Very
if
hard.
Popovich was available, which would never happen, or Spoelstra was available, or Kerr, maybe, but it's hard. So he is one of the best in this light, and I'm talking about Tibbs, one of the best coaches in the last 10, 15 years, despite his flaws, right? But here's the thing, right? What you can do in the locker room, right? Even though people may say, all right, maybe it's a wash between Brown and Tibbs, right? But what you can do, I feel, when these decisions are made, is change the voice in the locker room, right? You can have a coach who works on different things and try new approaches, right? And maybe Mike Brown isn't better than Tibbs, but he's better at the things that the team needs right now, right? Motion offense, those kind of things, playing fast. He's better at those things right now. At this iteration of the Knicks, that's what we need right now. That doesn't mean he's a better coach than Tibbs, but he does those things better than Tibbs, in my opinion, right at this time.
I still think it's yet to be seen. This is going to be the telltale sign as to whether it was the roster or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I mean, and I'm giving Mike Brown major grace because he's got to learn the roster. He talks about versatility. That's what this show, talking about how versatile is the roster. We're going to see how versatile the roster really is for him to utilize the guys or not, or if it needs to be changed a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
this is going to be the sign to know, is it, was it the roster flaws or was it Coach Tibbs? And it's all, to me, boils down to the results. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, let's look at how good it looks or this or that. I don't care. It boils down to the results for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What's the results?
No, absolutely. Like absolutely, Sim and Tony. Like, all these things have to play out, right? But we could only go based off of what the history has been. And like I said, he may not be a better coach than Tibbs per se, right? In terms of ranking them or whatever the case may be. Sometimes it's hard to rank coaches because it depends on the situation. Is Steve Kerr is a great coach, but is he one of the greatest coaches when you have a prime Stephen Clay? I mean, you know what I mean? So it's really too hard to say, all right, this coach is better. But in my opinion, at this time, in this iteration of what the Knicks are, to me, what he brings to the table can probably bring us over the top, right? Let's say it in another way. People are concerned about the toughness. You know, Tibbs brought the toughness, which he did. Like I said, he reignited this franchise. I always going to give him credit for that. But with Brunson and Hart and all those guys, most of those guys, right? They're not going to lose that toughness and never quit attitude. That's in the DNA of the team right now. Yeah, people could bring up Cad or McHale, but those two major engines. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, because that's what I was laughing because you said people can bring up Cat or McHale when we talk about toughness.
Right, but
and,
when
you know,
but when I say toughness, and I think Cat did display toughness. We could agree to disagree, and that's fine. Playing through the injury, the finger, the knee, that to me is playing tough, right? Because he could have sat out 20 games and rested it, but he didn't. But that's another topic, right? What I'm saying is that core. Mike Brown is coming into a veteran team, right? If this was the R.J. Barrett rookie year, then maybe that's a different story. But these guys have tasted what it is to almost get to the finals. They're not going to lose that. They're not going to lose that tenacity. They're not going to lose that that grit, in my opinion. But what Mike Brown can install is now developing a different way how to play now, right? In terms of developing the bench. Maybe playing small ball a little bit more, less ISO, less drop coverage. Mike Brown comes from that Princeton offense, right? Where you have more screenings and movement off ball. Those are the things he can bring now that, like I said weeks ago when Tibbs was let go, for whatever reason, maybe that just wasn't Tibbs' style, but that's what the team needed now.
Okay.
So
all right.
that's the first thing.
Well, I hate to do it because I have a hard stop at 7:35.
Yeah, go ahead. I could call another time. So y'all do y'all thing.
Because it sounds like we're gonna have to continue this conversation about versatility with this roster.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? For sure.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Next time y'all back online, I'll definitely give you a call. But I appreciate y'all giving me a few minutes.
It's definitely from now going forward, I'm a little more stationary now, stable. Not like I was crazy, but stable as far as in a location, you know what I'm saying? So I'll be back on my grind.
Absolutely, no problem.
You know
like I said, I appreciate you taking my time. I know you got to run. And one more thing, I'm very excited for the summer league, man. This to me is probably the most excited I've been about a summer league roster. So I appreciate you guys taking my call, and I'll listen off here.
Peace. Yeah, Tony. This conversation.
We could double back later if you're free, man. You know what I mean? I'm with it.
Because there's a lot to talk about with the roster and how it fits with Mike Brown and all of that. You know what I'm saying? A lot to talk about with the roster and a lot to talk about with Summer League too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna have to double back and talk about this versatility thing again, do a part 2. As far as talking about the versatility of this roster. You know what I mean? So, we'll see how we go. But Tony, I appreciate your time. Everybody in the chat, I appreciate your time. And we're gonna get up out of here. And yeah, you know what I mean? Next week, I'm gonna publish a schedule of days that I'm gonna be on. So we know when to look forward to it. You know what I mean? Any last words, Tony?
Nah, man. Shout out to the chat. Your Black is Time. Go check out my show from yesterday.
Check it out.
Knicks and Bruises. Peace.
Get out of here, folks. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.